Eva Stone was not just another employee in the bustling halls of Horizon Capital, a mid-sized financial consultancy nestled in the heart of Chicago. At 36, Eva carried the weight of 7 relentless years with the company, years marked by late nights, strategic triumphs, and hard-won client trust. She wasn't the flashy type, nor was she interested in office politics. Eva was the quiet backbone behind Horizon's most lucrative accounts, nurturing relationships with Evershore Holdings, Brighton Ventures, and Nova Tech Solutions, each worth millions. While her colleagues clocked out at 5, Eva often stayed well into the evening, polishing proposals or providing the steady reassurance her clients needed. Pride fueled her, not ambition for the spotlight. She wanted to be the dependable pillar, the one everyone relied on without question. However, everything changed 6 months ago when Horizon hired a new regional director. Marcus Kane, younger, slick, and all business. Marcus viewed Eva as an obstacle in his vision for sweeping changes. But Eva stayed focused, knowing her value wasn't just in numbers, it was in the trust she'd built. Little did she know, the storm that was about to break would test everything she stood for. 6 months before Eva Stone's world was upended, Horizon Capital was still the company she had quietly helped build from the inside out. Despite being overlooked by the upper echelons, Eva's influence was undeniable. She managed 3 of the firm's most critical accounts, Evershore Holdings, Brighton Ventures, and Nova Tech Solutions, and she did so with a steady hand and unwavering commitment. Every client knew Eva's name, trusted her judgment, and depended on her reliability. Then came Marcus Kane, the new regional director. At 38, Marcus was everything Eva wasn't: charismatic, fast-talking, and hungry for rapid results. Fresh from a prestigious consultancy, he had arrived with a mandate to shake up Horizon's stagnant culture and trim what he called legacy inefficiencies. That legacy, of course, included Eva. Marcus made it clear from day one that he saw Eva as an obstacle, a relic of an older way of doing things he wanted to erase. "We need bold moves, not comfortable routines," he told his team in his first meeting. His eyes lingered briefly on Eva, as if marking her for removal. Eva didn't fight back immediately. She had learned long ago that survival often meant playing the long game. She kept delivering, her accounts growing steadily under her care. Monthly performance reports went straight to the executives. She attended every high-stakes meeting, always prepared, always professional. But beneath the surface, things were shifting. The first warning came quietly. Eva's access to the company's internal financial dashboard, which had been her tool for years, was suddenly revoked without explanation. She brushed it off as a technical glitch. After all, glitches happened. But then came the disappearance of her invitations to leadership meetings, a tradition she'd upheld for years. The calendar entries simply vanished, as if she were being erased from the company's strategic conversations. It was during a chance encounter in the break room that Eva's fears began to solidify. Marcus was there, laughing easily with junior managers, his presence commanding attention. She forced a polite smile and cautiously asked, "Are the bonuses still on track for next week?" Marcus's response was disturbingly casual. "Of course, Eva, we appreciate all you do," he said, clapping her on the back. But the smile didn't reach his eyes. There was a coldness beneath the surface, a sense that this was all a well-rehearsed performance. Over the next few days, the isolation deepened. Calls that once came nonstop now dried up. Emails to her project teams went unanswered. Meetings were held without her presence. Important updates about her key clients came only through whispered corridors and hushed office gossip. The very company she had poured her heart into was quietly moving on without her. Eva noticed the subtle betrayals from colleagues she had once mentored and trusted. One day, a longtime mentee deliberately avoided her gaze and slipped away without a word. The sting of that betrayal was sharper than anything Marcus had done. It was personal. Despite the growing alienation, Eva held her head high. She told herself she was still the professional everyone depended on. She wore her navy pinstripe suit, the one that made her feel invincible, and arrived early every day, meticulously reviewing client files and proposals. Then came the email. 3 days before bonus day, a terse message landed in her inbox. Her position was eliminated due to restructuring. Effective immediately. No warning, no face-to-face conversation, no final paycheck or bonus. The coldness of the message shattered any illusions she had left. Sitting alone in her apartment that night, Eva felt the hollow ache of betrayal. 7 years of loyalty, late nights, and sacrifices wiped away with a few strokes of a keyboard. But as the initial shock faded, something else began to grow, an icy resolve. She realized Marcus and Horizon had made a fatal mistake. They thought they were cutting a cost, but they were severing the bridge to 3 of their biggest clients. Eva had nurtured those relationships like precious flames. Those clients weren't loyal to Horizon's name, they were loyal to her. Over the weekend, Eva did something she hadn't done in years. She rested. No calls, no emails, just quiet reflection. Then, with a clear mind, she drafted 3 personal letters to her top clients. No bitterness, no desperate pleas, just sincere gratitude and an open invitation to reach out if they ever needed support. Her gamble paid off almost immediately. Within hours, Michael from Evershore texted, "Are you accepting new clients? Call me." Eva smiled for the first time in weeks but remained cautious. She arranged private meetings with representatives from Brighton Ventures and Nova Tech, sensing their dissatisfaction with the new account managers. By midweek, murmurs of chaos at Horizon were spreading, projects mishandled, junior staff overwhelmed, and client dissatisfaction mounting. The cracks Eva predicted were now visible to all. The clients weren't just unhappy, they were ready to follow Eva if she led the way. Offers poured in, from rival firms eager to capture her expertise and the business she controlled. But Eva moved deliberately, not out of desperation, but with calculated precision. By Friday, formal complaints from all 3 clients reached Horizon's leadership, citing a sudden decline in service and broken trust. The firm's revenue plummeted by nearly 40%, an unprecedented hemorrhage that left Marcus scrambling for answers. Meanwhile, Eva accepted a senior leadership role at a boutique consultancy that offered autonomy and respect, everything Horizon had denied her. The signing bonus alone eclipsed the bonus she had been denied. Her new office, high above the city skyline, symbolized the fresh start she had earned through resilience and strategy. Her former clients transitioned smoothly to her new firm, renewing their faith in her. As Horizon spiraled into crisis, Eva remained silent but powerful. Success was her revenge, the quiet, unstoppable force that exposed the folly of underestimating loyalty and the value of real human connections. Marcus, once so confident, faced disgrace and resignation. Eva, meanwhile, thrived, proof that true worth can never be erased by a careless dismissal. The quiet before the storm was brief. Eva Stone's calculated patience had only just begun to unsettle Horizon Capital's fragile facade. While she sat at her new apartment's kitchen table, sipping coffee and reviewing notes for upcoming meetings, the fallout was already cascading through the corridors of her former company. Monday morning brought a brutal awakening for Marcus Kane and his leadership team. Michael from Evershore Holdings sent an urgent email directly to Horizon's executive board, demanding an immediate review of their service agreement. The subject line alone, urgent service satisfaction concerns, sent ripples through the company like an electric shock. By noon, Brighton Ventures and Nova Tech Solutions followed suit, each submitting formal complaints highlighting deteriorating service, lack of continuity, and a loss of key relationship personnel. The message was clear. Where is Eva Stone? And if she's not here, why should we stay? Marcus had been under the impression that the transition had been seamless. He had boasted about his streamlined strategy and how clients hadn't noticed Eva's absence. He was wrong, dead wrong. The senior partners at Horizon scrambled to contain the crisis. Emergency board meetings were called, and the legal department frantically reviewed contracts for any grounds to block the client's moves. But Eva had covered every base. Her communications had been professional and voluntary. No breaches, no conflicts. Meanwhile, whispers circulated of Marcus growing increasingly desperate. Rumors said he spent late nights calling clients, offering discounts, free consultations, and perks. Any tactic to staunch the bleeding. None worked. Eva, however, remained calm and methodical. She continued her private meetings with the 3 clients, listening more than she spoke, understanding their frustrations and fears. She wasn't just selling a service, she was restoring trust that had been shattered. In one particularly tense meeting with Laura from Brighton Ventures, Eva saw the strain firsthand. Laura's voice cracked as she admitted, "We never wanted this to happen. We trusted Horizon, and you. But without you, it feels like we're lost." Eva nodded. "That's why I'm here, to ensure you're not." By midweek, The clients had quietly begun pulling their accounts, signaling a hemorrhage of nearly 40% of Horizon's regional revenue. The financial impact was staggering, but the deeper damage was reputational. Industry chatter began shifting, with analysts questioning Horizon's stability and leadership. As the storm gathered momentum, Marcus found himself isolated. The confidence that had buoyed him evaporated under pressure. He was no longer the decisive leader but a man scrambling to plug leaks he couldn't find. Then came Saturday night, a day Marcus had hoped would bring calm. Instead, he was forced to call an emergency Zoom meeting with senior partners, many reluctant to answer their phones on a weekend. The atmosphere was tense, a mix of frustration and disbelief. One partner finally spoke bluntly. "How could we lose 3 flagship clients in less than a month? This isn't miscommunication or personality clashes. This is a failure of leadership." Marcus struggled to defend his bold changes, but the damage was done. The partners, once his biggest supporters, quietly began distancing themselves. Rumors of his impending resignation started circulating. Through it all, Eva stayed silent in public. No gloating posts, no leaks to the press, no celebrations. She let the chaos unravel on its own, confident that her quiet professionalism and new alliances would speak louder than any words. By Sunday evening, her phone rang with an offer from a competing firm, one she had discreetly contacted earlier. They proposed a senior leadership role with full autonomy and authority to build her client portfolio. The salary was double what she had earned at Horizon, and the signing bonus alone exceeded the lost bonus she had been denied. Eva accepted, but on her own terms, no announcements, no fanfare. She wanted Horizon to feel the consequences in silence, watching their revenue bleed without ever knowing where she had gone. The following week brought a flurry of activity. Private meetings with Michael, Laura, and David, leaders of her former clients, solidified their intent to transition their business to Eva's new firm. The handover was smooth, professional, and decisive. Internal emails at Horizon exploded with panic. Legal threats flew, but there was no substance. Eva's moves were impeccable. The reality was clear. Loyalty and trust were not commodities that could be reassigned with a corporate memo. The repercussions echoed beyond financial loss. Morale within Horizon plummeted. Junior staff struggled to manage accounts they were ill-prepared for. Clients who remained grew wary, questioning the company's future viability. Meanwhile, Eva's new office on the 32nd floor of a downtown skyscraper symbolized her triumph. The city skyline glittered through floor-to-ceiling windows as she reviewed strategy plans for her expanding client base. Each successful negotiation, each new partnership was a reminder. Her worth had never been defined by Horizon's dismissal but by the relationships and trust she had built. Nathan Kane's reign had crumbled quietly but completely. And Eva Stone was the architect of his downfall, not with shouts, but with steady, unshakable strength. The months following Eva Stone's departure from Horizon Capital were a period of profound reflection and transformation. What had once felt like a devastating betrayal slowly revealed itself as a necessary awakening, one that reshaped how Eva viewed herself, her career, and the very meaning of loyalty. In the quiet solitude of her new office, overlooking the sprawling Chicago skyline, Eva often found herself revisiting the memories of her time at Horizon. The late nights poring over client proposals, the painstaking relationship building, and the crushing moment when Marcus Kane dismissed her with a curt email. All these moments became threads woven into a new tapestry of understanding. She realized that loyalty in the corporate world was a fragile illusion. It wasn't a bond of mutual respect but a commodity traded and discarded as easily as quarterly reports. For years, Eva had believed that hard work and dedication guaranteed security. She had been wrong. This revelation sparked a fundamental shift. Instead of investing her energy in proving herself to others, Eva began focusing on cultivating her own value. Independent of any institution, she started setting boundaries she had never dared to impose before, refusing to sacrifice personal time for empty promises and recognizing that her worth extended far beyond her job title. Eva's relationship with trust changed as well. Where she had once placed blind faith in a company and its leaders, she now saw trust as something to be earned, nurtured, and protected carefully. Her clients hadn't stayed because of Horizon's logo or prestige, they stayed because of her integrity, her responsiveness, and her unwavering commitment to their success. This perspective guided how she rebuilt her professional life. with her new role as Senior Vice President of Client Strategy at Meridian Partners, a boutique consultancy known for empowering its leaders. Eva had the freedom to lead with authenticity. She cultivated a culture of openness and respect within her team, encouraging collaboration and valuing each member's unique contribution. Moreover, Eva began mentoring younger professionals with a renewed passion, sharing the lessons she had learned the hard way. She warned them about the pitfalls of blind loyalty but inspired them to build resilient careers grounded in self-worth and strategic thinking. Outside of work, Eva rediscovered parts of herself that had been neglected. She reconnected with old friends, pursued hobbies like painting and hiking, and allowed herself the grace to rest without guilt. The emptiness she once felt after her departure transformed into space for growth and renewal. The shift also altered Eva's definition of success. No longer was it measured solely by revenue numbers or corporate accolades. Success became a balanced life where professional achievement coexisted with personal fulfillment and inner peace. In quiet moments, Eva reflected on Marcus Kane and Horizon's downfall. She recognized that their rapid decline was a symptom of short-sighted leadership and misplaced priorities. They had valued control over collaboration and appearances over substance. In contrast, Eva's approach, grounded in empathy and strategic patience, created lasting value. This change in perspective was not without its challenges. Eva had to confront lingering doubts and the temptation to seek revenge through harsh words or public confrontation. Instead, she chose restraint, understanding that true strength lay in dignity and results. Her story became an emblem of empowerment, not just for herself but for anyone who had felt discarded or underestimated. Eva often shared her journey in industry panels and leadership seminars, encouraging others to embrace their worth and navigate corporate politics with wisdom. Ultimately, Eva Stone's transformation was a testament to resilience. She had taken a moment of profound loss and turned it into an opportunity to redefine her path. By shifting her perspective, she reclaimed control over her narrative and built a future where she no longer needed to prove her value, because it was undeniable. After months of reflection and rebuilding, Eva Stone stood at a crossroads that few in her position ever reach, a place where the scars of betrayal had transformed into the foundation for unprecedented opportunity. Her journey from the shadows of dismissal at Horizon Capital to the forefront of industry leadership was more than a career comeback, it was a reinvention. Meridian Partners, the boutique consultancy that had offered Eva a senior leadership role, was unlike any company she had known before. Smaller but agile, it prized autonomy, innovation, and genuine client relationships over bureaucracy and flashy presentations. Here, Eva was empowered to build not just her client portfolio but the culture and strategy she believed in. The first weeks were exhilarating yet challenging. Eva dove into her role with fierce determination, balancing the thrill of new beginnings with the pressure to prove herself all over again. But this time, her foundation was different. She wasn't starting from scratch. She was building on the rock-solid relationships she had painstakingly nurtured over years. Her former clients, Evershore Holdings, Brighton Ventures, and Nova Tech Solutions, had already signaled their intention to follow her. But bringing them over wasn't a simple transaction, it was a delicate dance of trust, reassurance, and alignment of vision. Eva spent countless hours meeting with key stakeholders, listening intently to their needs, and tailoring strategies that demonstrated her commitment to their success beyond contractual obligations. During these meetings, Eva noticed how different Meridian partners operated. Unlike Horizon's top-down directives, Meridian fostered collaboration. Teams were encouraged to experiment, learn from failures, and innovate without fear. This culture energized Eva, rekindling her passion for work and leadership. The autonomy also allowed Eva to design client engagement processes that prioritized transparency and proactive communication. She introduced monthly strategy sessions not just with clients but across internal teams, ensuring everyone was aligned and empowered to deliver exceptional service. Yet, this opportunity wasn't only about business growth. It was about rewriting Eva's narrative. She began to see herself not as a victim of corporate betrayal but as a visionary leader shaping the future of financial consulting. The sting of Marcus Kane's betrayal faded with every new success and every genuine connection she forged. One particular breakthrough came when Eva secured a seven-figure contract with a major tech startup seeking innovative financial strategies to scale rapidly. This deal wasn't just lucrative, it symbolized her arrival as a trusted authority in the industry. The excitement of negotiating and closing the contract reminded Eva why she had chosen this career path: to create impact and build lasting partnerships. Simultaneously, Eva nurtured her internal team, understanding that leadership was as much about lifting others as it was about personal achievement. She invested in mentorship programs, encouraged professional development, and fostered a culture of recognition and support. Outside the office, Eva's confidence grew. She became a sought-after speaker at industry conferences, sharing insights on leadership, resilience, and client relationship management. Her story resonated deeply with professionals who had faced similar challenges, inspiring many to rethink how they defined success and worth. The new opportunity also gave Eva the freedom to prioritize balance. She reclaimed weekends and evenings once sacrificed to endless emails and late meetings. She traveled, reconnected with family and friends, and explored passions long neglected. This holistic approach to life fueled her creativity and resilience. Despite the distance from Horizon Capital, Eva remained aware of the ripple effects of her departure. News of the firm's continued struggles surfaced regularly: high turnover, client losses, and plummeting morale. Eva understood that her leaving had catalyzed change, exposing systemic weaknesses and forcing reflection. Her former rival, Marcus Kane, faded from the spotlight, a cautionary tale about arrogance and short-sighted leadership. Eva, on the other hand, quietly built her legacy on trust, authenticity, and unwavering dedication. Looking ahead, Eva saw endless possibilities. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable had become stepping stones. She envisioned expanding Meridian's reach, developing innovative services, and mentoring the next generation of leaders. In quiet moments, Eva reflected on how far she had come, from the shock of an abrupt firing to standing tall as a respected executive. The new opportunity wasn't just a second chance, it was a testament to her strength, vision, and the power of embracing change. Eva Stone had reclaimed her worth, not by fighting the past but by building a future where her value was undeniable and her impact lasting. Eva Stone's journey from the depths of corporate betrayal to the heights of leadership was more than a career trajectory, it was a profound transformation of self. The challenges she faced had tested her resilience, sharpened her instincts, and reshaped her understanding of what it meant to lead, to trust, and to value oneself. In the early days at Meridian Partners, Eva confronted a paradox. Though free from the toxic politics of her former workplace, she realized that success in leadership required more than expertise and hard work. It demanded emotional intelligence, patience, and the courage to be vulnerable, a lesson learned the hard way. She began to embrace a more holistic approach to leadership. Rather than commanding from a distance, Eva fostered genuine connections with her team. She listened deeply, acknowledged fears and frustrations, and encouraged open dialogue. This created an environment where creativity and collaboration flourished. Eva's vulnerability also extended to herself. Where once she had hidden doubt and pain behind a professional facade, she now allowed herself moments of honesty. She shared stories of her past struggles in leadership meetings and mentoring sessions, using her experience to inspire and guide others. This openness built trust and loyalty within her team. Employees who had once felt like cogs in a machine now saw themselves as valued contributors to a shared vision. Morale improved, and performance soared. Eva's growth was not limited to interpersonal skills. She also expanded her strategic thinking. The lessons learned from Marcus Kane's short-sighted leadership, prioritizing immediate gains over sustainable relationships, became a compass guiding her decisions. She championed long-term client partnerships, emphasizing value creation over quick wins. She invested heavily in professional development, both for herself and her team. Eva pursued executive coaching and leadership workshops, continuously refining her skills and perspective. She encouraged her team to do the same, fostering a culture of lifelong learning. Perhaps most importantly, Eva redefined her relationship with failure and setbacks. Instead of fearing mistakes, she viewed them as opportunities for growth. This mindset shift created resilience that helped her navigate the complexities of building a new client portfolio and leading a team through change. Her personal life mirrored this growth. Eva set boundaries she had previously ignored, protecting her time and energy. She rekindled relationships with family and friends, prioritizing connections that nourished her soul. Hobbies once abandoned, painting, hiking, and reading, became essential outlets for creativity and relaxation. This balance between professional ambition and personal well-being fortified Eva's capacity to lead with clarity and compassion. It also gave her the stamina to face challenges with equanimity, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Eva's growth extended to her broader impact on the industry. She became a vocal advocate for ethical leadership and workplace culture reform. Speaking at conferences and writing articles, she challenged norms and encouraged a shift towards more human-centered business practices. Her story inspired many, especially women navigating male-dominated industries, to claim their worth and lead authentically. Eva's mentorship programs flourished, creating ripple effects that extended far beyond Meridian partners. Throughout this journey, Eva never forgot the painful lessons from Horizon Capital. The betrayal she endured became a catalyst for change, not just for herself but for the culture she now helped shape. Her experience fueled a commitment to create workplaces where loyalty was honored and people were valued. Eva Stone's character growth was a testament to resilience, self-awareness, and the transformative power of embracing one's full humanity. She evolved from a silent engine powering others' success into a leader who embodied strength, empathy, and vision. Her journey was not just about reclaiming what was lost but about becoming someone new, someone who thrived not despite adversity but because of it. Eva Stone's journey from betrayal to triumph was not just a personal victory, it was a beacon of hope for anyone who has ever felt undervalued, overlooked, or cast aside. Her story embodies the power of resilience, the strength of quiet determination, and the profound truth that our worth is never defined by those who fail to recognize it. After years of relentless dedication and sacrifice, Eva faced the harshest test of her career. The cold dismissal by Marcus Kane in Horizon Capital might have shattered her spirit. But instead, it became the catalyst for an extraordinary transformation. She did not respond with anger or bitterness. Instead, she chose to rise, rebuild, and reclaim what was rightfully hers. Her success at Meridian Partners, where she took the helm as Senior Vice President of Client Strategy, was no accident. It was the result of strategic vision, unwavering commitment to her clients, and a leadership style rooted in authenticity and empathy. She had created a space where trust was paramount, where clients felt seen and valued, and where her team thrived because they were respected and empowered. But perhaps the most inspiring part of Eva's story was the way she transformed personal pain into purpose. She became a mentor, an advocate, and a voice for change in an industry often criticized for its cutthroat culture. Through speaking engagements, writings, and one-on-one mentoring, Eva shared her journey, not to boast, but to uplift others walking similar paths. Eva understood that true victory wasn't about proving others wrong but about proving herself right. It was about waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that she was building something meaningful, not just for herself, but for those who looked up to her. Her journey also redefined what success looked like. It wasn't just about the seven-figure contracts or the impressive office views. It was about balance, integrity, and the courage to stay true to oneself in the face of adversity. Eva found joy in the everyday moments, a genuine conversation with a client, a breakthrough strategy session, or a quiet evening spent painting. These were the victories that filled her soul. For Eva, the past was not a chain but a foundation. The betrayal she endured taught her invaluable lessons about loyalty, leadership, and self-worth. It deepened her empathy and sharpened her resolve. It reminded her that even when others fail to see your value, it remains intrinsic and unshakable. Looking out over the city skyline from her office, Eva often thought about the future. She envisioned expanding Meridian Partners' impact, nurturing new leaders, and continuing to challenge the status quo. She knew challenges would come, but she was ready, stronger, wiser, and more grounded than ever. Eva's story invites all of us to reflect on our own worth and the environments we choose to inhabit. It encourages us to walk away from places that don't honor us and to seek or create spaces where we can thrive. It reminds us that sometimes, the greatest victories are the ones we build quietly, with grace and perseverance. Her message is clear. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to fight to be valued. Sometimes, the most powerful statement is simply living your truth and succeeding on your own terms. Eva Stone's journey is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome, adapt, and flourish. It's a story of loss turned into opportunity, pain into purpose, and dismissal into undeniable success. Eva Stone's story teaches us a vital lesson. Your worth is never defined by others' recognition or the titles they give you. True value comes from within, built through resilience, integrity, and unwavering commitment to your principles and relationships. When Eva was abruptly dismissed, she faced betrayal that could have crushed her spirit. Instead, she transformed it into an opportunity to reclaim her power and rebuild on her own terms. She understood that loyalty and trust are earned, not owed, and that sometimes, the healthiest choice is to walk away from places or people that no longer honor your worth. Her journey reminds us that setbacks are not endpoints but turning points. Success is not measured by external validation but by the courage to stand tall. Redefine your path, and keep moving forward with dignity and purpose. If you find yourself undervalued at work or in any relationship, take a step back to reassess your worth, not through others' eyes but your own. Reflect on what you've contributed, what you deserve, and where your talents and values align best. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Say no to toxic environments, and pursue opportunities that respect and elevate you. Cultivate relationships built on mutual trust and respect, and invest in your personal growth and well-being. Most importantly, remember that walking away isn't failure, it's a courageous act of self-preservation and empowerment. Like Eva, you can transform moments of loss into platforms for growth, leading to a future where your worth is recognized and celebrated. Thank you for choosing to listen to this story among thousands of stories out there. Like and subscribe to continue listening to the latest stories.